Spring is just starting to peek its head out. The leaves are just beginning to sprout. It's a time of change, so I'll try to bring new life into the oldest Rolex in my collection. This is the pre-modern Rolex Datejust 16200 from 2003, so that's 20 years old now. My very first Rolex, purchased at an AD in San Diego. It's been a workhorse, a reliable companion, and very versatile. No visible dents, and the movement has only been serviced once at a Rolex jeweler. It has a simple white dial, simple hour markers with very little lume, and slim hands. It's not even all that legible compared to the thicker hour markers and hands on the modern version. The bracelet is all brushed with hollow center links, and it has that older style friction clasp with the flimsy stamped metal deployant wings without any easy link extension. Just a few micro adjustment holes requiring a tool to adjust. It's not one of my most worn pieces anymore, and I've been asking myself, why am I not wearing this more often? I came up with two reasons. One is the white dial. It's sort of plain, sort of nondescript. And two, the bracelet is very old style. Hollow center links with that rattle and no quick adjustment. It doesn't add any more reassuring weight to the watch like most of my other solid link bracelets. So I'm hoping that putting on a new leather strap will remedy both of these issues and add an accent of color with an earth tone color strap, and add another experience to contrast with the standard steel bracelet. But which is better, a bracelet or a strap? Let's go over the pros and cons. The Rolex case and bracelet just go together, hand in glove, and that's how Rolex designed it. I'm wearing it here with a blue sports coat from Orazio Luciano, gray wool trousers from Rhoda, and a pale blue shirt from Proper Cloth, and brown Oxfords from Alden. This is the basic menswear uniform, and the plain white dial Datejust just goes well with this. Originally, the bracelets were made by an outside company and then shipped to Rolex to be fitted into its case. Eventually, Rolex bought out that company and brought all the bracelet design and manufacture all in-house. They now carefully designed the bracelet in conjunction with the case to result in a seamless, unified piece of utilitarian art. The tight tolerances to the case, the exact same formulation of 904L steel, and the exact same satin brushing patterns and polished surfaces. The bracelet is just meant to match the case, and Rolex wants you to wear it on the original bracelet. In fact, they actively discourage their ADs from removing the bracelet if you go in and ask them to swap it out for one of your leather straps. Rolex feels that their watch looks best when worn with the original bracelet that it was designed for. At least that's how my AD explained it to me. So who in their right mind would remove a beautiful and completely functional oyster bracelet? To remove the bracelet, you need a screwdriver, a spring bar tool, and a holder. The best tool for removing the bracelet is this Bourgeon tool. It has tiny prongs on the ends to grasp at both spring bars at the same time. It's always a good idea to tape the lugs to prevent scratches. It usually takes me a few tries to get the bracelet off. The hardest part is getting a good grip on the spring bars at just the right spot. Once you get that, the bracelet just slides off. This strap I purchased online from Michael Knapp Leather. I found him through his YouTube channel, Strap-A-Watch. It's a completely handmade and made-to-order strap. He films the whole process and goes through exactly how he makes it. You can choose the leather color and the material, the length, the stitching color, the buckle, and the size. Or you can custom order to a very specific length if you have a very large wrist or a very small wrist. I chose one of the standard small sizes. So basically you can customize this strap just exactly the way you want it. And with Rolex, you need to specify curved spring bars because the lug holes are set so close to the case that the leather strap can rub up against the case and wear it away. So you need a curve on the spring bars to bring the strap away from the case. Rolex designs the bracelet interface to such tight tolerances that it's difficult to use any other regular spring bar on a leather strap. To put on the strap, I use a single tip spring bar tool. First, I insert one side to the bottom lug hole, and I use the spring bar tool on the other side to compress it in and nudge it gently into the other lug hole. This is another step where it's easy to scratch the watch case, and it was more difficult doing it on camera, so it took me several tries to get this on and get the spring bar right into that lug hole. This leather strap is in shell Cordovan from Shinki Hikaku in a whiskey color. Shell Cordovan is very durable and resistant to scuffs and scratches, and it's in a nice lighter color brown, not too light. I wasn't looking for anything with shades of red or anything that looked yellowish, just something straight up without any wild accents of color. The leather feels very nice, a very good quality leather. I chose unpadded leather to have a lower profile on my small wrist, but you could also choose to have a strap padded. And for the steel buckle, I was surprised to see Michael included an actual Rolex buckle because I told him this was for a Datejust. I didn't actually ask for it, but he included it free of charge, and that's an extremely nice touch and very much appreciated. It rounds out the strap and completes the package. There was a delay in completing the strap, but it was well worth the wait to have something completely customized down to the leather material, color, and padding, all at a very decent price. My inspiration for choosing this specific color was the Patek Philippe weekly calendar. Patek also chose a similar color to pair with their white dial. I was thinking about asking for this Patek from my AD, but the case is 40 millimeters and might look too large on me, so I got this strap to replicate the look of that watch. I'm not trying to say these two watches are comparable. The Patek is a $38,000 watch, but I think the overall look comes pretty close. The straps are in very similar color, except for the contrast stitching on the Patek, but I prefer the non-contrast stitching on mine. Both are steel watches, both are white dial, but the Patek is much more intricate and complicated. So this strap does add a new look to my old Datejust, and it's a nice accent of color. I think this whiskey color goes perfectly with the white dial, makes it nice for wearing in the summer, maybe even looks dressier, and it has no more of that rattling of the hollow center links of the bracelet. Let me know in the comments which you like better, the bracelet or the strap. Since I was doing some of the filming at work, I thought I would include an update of my work office setup. There's not a huge change from my last office tour, but maybe some minor ones. I've got a 2-display setup with a keyboard and a wireless mouse and a keyboard pad. I bought the wireless mouse myself. I tried to install a wireless keyboard also, but that required adding an application to the computer, which I wasn't able to download. There's a small notepad for jotting down reminders. I have an iPhone on a stand and an iPad Pro. In the corner I have the HomePod Mini, and I have a ink replacement. I just keep the bottle out because it just looks nice. And I have the Ember coffee mug. This is really nice because I can set the temperature with my iPhone, and I usually keep my coffee at 131 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a cabinet behind my chair for extra storage. I keep some water bottles, my Christmas lights, and that extra keyboard. In the bottom drawer, I have a sweater, an extra briefcase, and a shoe brush. That bottle of wine is just left over from a Christmas gift I haven't opened yet. But I always keep an extra pair of dress shoes in the bottom drawer, just because if it's very snowy outside, I can wear my bean boots to work and then switch out to my dress shoes when I get to work. But I don't like the harsh lighting of the fluorescent lights, so usually I work in the dark with the overhead lights. So this is the view of my office while I'm usually working, and I have two chairs there in case I need to talk to someone, and I have my secretary across the hall, and I hang my coat on the back of the door.